The sun hung low over the dense Angolan forests in the early 1970s, thick, humid, and heavy with the scent of revolution. Angola was not merely a country under colonial rule. It was a powder keg. For nearly 400 years, Portugal had controlled the land, exploiting its minerals, its people, and its potential. The Portuguese Empire believed Angola would never break free. But Angola had other plans. In the 1500s, Portuguese traders first touched Angolan shores, drawn by slaves, ivory, and gold. As the centuries passed, Portugal tightened its grip, creating a system of labor so brutal that Angolans called it trabalho, forced labor enforced with violence. Villages were raided. Men were taken to work in plantations and mines. Culture was suppressed. Resistance was brutally crushed. But beneath the silence, anger simmered. By the 1950s, nationalism was rising across Africa. Angola was no different. But unlike other nations, Angola's fight for freedom fractured into three powerful movements, each with its own identity, foreign allies, and vision for the country. Large Red Circle MPLA, a Marxist-inspired, led by Agostinho Neto, a strong in Luanda and central Angola, backed by the Soviet Union and Cuba. Large Blue Circle FNLA, rooted in the Bakongo ethnic region, led by Holden Roberto, supported by the United States and Zaire. UNITA, based in Ovimbundu areas, led by Jonas Savimbi, initially Maoist, later backed by China and the US. Each group wanted independence, but none agreed on how Angola should be governed. In 1961, Angola exploded. Plantations burned. Workers revolted. Guerrilla fighters struck colonial outposts. Portugal responded with overwhelming force, air bombardments, mass arrests, scorched earth tactics. But for every resistance fighter killed, 10 more rose. The war spread like wildfire across Angola's forests, rivers, mountains, and cities. For 14 long years, the country bled, and Portugal seemed determined to fight forever. Angola's independence war became more than a struggle for freedom. It became a stage for the Cold War. The Soviet Union sent weapons to MPLA. Cuba sent thousands of troops. Zaire and the CIA armed FNLA. China trained UNITA fighters in the bush. Angola had become a chessboard. But amid the chaos, the Angolan people continued to push forward, tired, determined, unbroken. In April 1974, something unexpected happened, not in Angola, but in Portugal. Portuguese soldiers, tired of fighting colonial wars, marched through Lisbon with red carnations in their rifles. The dictatorship fell overnight. The new government announced, "The colonies will be free." In one stroke, centuries of Portuguese rule weakened. Angola's dream of freedom was suddenly within reach. As Portugal prepared to withdraw, MPLA, FNLA, and UNITA rushed to control cities, ports, and provinces. Gunfire echoed across Luanda. Foreign troops landed to support their chosen sides. The struggle for independence turned into a struggle for power. But despite the chaos, one date stood firm. November 11, 1975. Angola would be independent. As the Portuguese flag was lowered for the last time, Agostinho Neto stood before the world and declared, "Angola is free." Fireworks lit the sky. Dancers filled the streets. And the Angolan people finally breathed the air of liberation. Angola's independence came at a devastating price. Over 500,000 lives lost. A shattered economy. Deep political divisions. A civil war that would continue for decades. But in 1975, for one shining moment, Angola stood tall, a nation reclaimed by its people. Angola's path to freedom was long, painful, and fiercely fought, but it reminds us that no empire, no oppression, no injustice lasts forever when people stand united. Hit like, subscribe, and share this video to help more people learn the powerful history of Africa's fight for liberation. Let the world never forget the strength of a people who refuse to surrender.